Alright guys, after quite a lot of time, seems like we are finally getting an update worth looking for, but wait, is that a bullet train? That's right guys, on this update we are getting a brand new track located in Mount Fuji. 10, that's right, 10 new cars including some of the most iconic GDM ones, another Drive Syndicate as usual, and much more. But let's start cutting this update cake by having a look at the brand new track. Being completely honest, it looks absolutely insane and I do really like the straight sections and open roads this track has to offer. Sure thing, it might be a pain for slower cars, but it definitely seems to be a big deal for those high top speed cars capable of recovering speed while drifting, such as the Arash Imperium or the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. The environment surrounding the track looks quite nice, but it would have been great if we started one of the races by dropping from the top of Mount Fuji and doing, a bit of off-roading through the hillsides of such an iconic mountain. I guess that's a missed opportunity, but other than that, it's quite alright. Just to mention a couple of things that could be improved in regards to this track, the barrel roll ramps might be problematic as I am seeing the same shape as other ramps on tracks like Greenland, and those definitely caused some issues in the past. I will definitely try and make those a tad bit steeper, but we will have to wait and see once the update drops. As for now, that's everything I have to say in regards to the brand new track, but now it's time to have a glimpse at all the new cars this season has to offer. Starting with all the cars set to arrive during this first season of the update, we have the Aela 60, designed by Hanarelli, who I definitely never heard about before and whose car is said to be the Legends Pass car featured on all the seasons throughout this update. Other than that is a decent C-Class car with strong nitro and handling, mid acceleration and an alrightish top speed. It's not like we can ask a ton to a Legends Pass car, but this is the one we will need in order to get through the very first chapters of the new Drive Syndicate, so many of you guys will eventually unlock this car for free though. Then we have another A-Class King coming our way along this update, and this time is no more and no less than the Nissan Skyline GTR R34. This iconic GDM car features a fairly strong top speed, but unfortunately it lags behind in everything else. Good handling, but weak acceleration and nitro efficiency. The bright side is that its drift speed looks quite interesting, as we can see on the Mount Fuji gameplay, so it might be a tad bit more competitive than I initially thought. We will have to wait once proper test drives come out though, because this GTR R34 won't be an easy car to goal, being featured through the new Turbofest Spotlight along the next couple of cars. Such is the case of the Toyota Supra Mark IV, which will arrive through the aforementioned Spotlight right at this first season, and it will be a slightly worse version of the good old Apollo N, featuring the exact same acceleration value and worse nitro and top speed values though. The handling is a bit better, but honestly, being placed at that rank within B-Class, there are plenty of more competent cars around, in my honest opinion. The last car within the Turbofest Spotlight is the Mazda RX-7 Spirit Air, which is a 4-star D-Class car, and with that I think I have said everything that's needed to be said. For real, this one is fairly useless if you have a look at its stats. It's the kind of car that if you completely ignore it right now, it will definitely show up in the future as a car hunt car. Jumping into something a bit more painful to deal with, we have the Drive Syndicate 17 main car, and oh, surprise surprise, is yet another car that doesn't exist physically in real life. It's just a render. I don't even have to open Google this time, I just bet it's just non-existent within the physical realm of human existence. Apparently for Gameloft, just because they added 60 nitro points to this to check Ion Air, it means it's already fair for Gameloft to slap a 5300 rank points to the slowest car ever released within the 5100 rank points and above. The acceleration value of this car is surely promising, but unless this Ion Air ends up being insanely floaty or capable enough of recovering speed by, drifting like the cars you already know, I can't imagine what might be the reasoning that led Gameloft to give this car this absolutely insane high rank. Following the painful path of the Drive Syndicate required cars, we have the Hennessy Venom GT, a car famously known for being extremely floaty on the Asphalt 9 China server, but that seems to be not the most useful addition you could make to your garage on Asphalt Legends Unite. Huge top speed for the rank it has, not gonna lie, but fairly underwhelming acceleration, nitro and handling values that make me question what will be the final true performance of all these Syndicate cars once the test drives arrive, because if these cars end up being useless, it will be quite fun, to say the least. I will give you all guys the full list of these Drive Syndicate minimal requirements later on this video in case you want to have a look, but you know, now it's time to have a look into the last car we will be able to lock during this first season, which is no more and no less than the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. A B-Class car version that seems to be a fine piece of dust collector for my garage. It will be available for everyone that reaches Champion League on the very first multiplayer season of the new update, and there will be an exclusive decal for this monster once you get to a certain rank within multiplayer, so free car is always free garage points, so that's good I guess. Alright, but just so you can have a look at the cars that will arrive during the second season of this update, we will have the Lucid Air Sapphire, which is set to become the new king of C-Class with an absolutely insane amount of acceleration paired with a decent top speed and an alrightish nitro and handling values. If I had to bet, this car looks like the kind of car that will arrive on its own special event, but we will have to see later on this update, I guess. For some reason I can't fully comprehend yet, during the second season of this update there will be yet another Porsche car, but this time a special edition one. The Pac-Man edition, likely set to arrive through a Pac-Man mini Spotlight or maybe a Pac-Man themed special event. It will not become an elite B-Class car, but the nitro and top speed look quite nice, not gonna lie. At last but not least, we have the Toyota GT1 Road version coming right from Asphalt 8, and damn! I have to admit that if I say that the Porsche Pac-Man edition looked like a potential Spotlight car, this Toyota smells like a literal Spotlight car. It's either that or, you know, maybe a mid special event, because it's definitely not a king, but I have to admit that the top speed is curious, to say the least. It might be fun to play with during slipstream seasons, but that's really it. Just like it happened during this current season, it seems like the second half of this update will be quite boring, to say the least. But now it's a special events time, guys. I will try my best to tell you all exactly what you need to know and no extra irrelevant stuff. First of all, the Drive Syndicate. Here you can see the minimum requirements needed to unlock the absolute monster that is the Touge Ion Air, and well, just as I said, it will be so damn funny if the car ends up to be another Tartarus that I don't even know what to expect from this Drive Syndicate. For real. Right before the Drive Syndicate, we will have the Turbofest Spotlight, which will arrive along the new Legends Pass right at the beginning of the season, and it will feature 3 new cars I have just mentioned with basically an entire month to grind it. I genuinely don't know if it will give a chance to unlock all these cars, but I guess we will have to wait and see the actual Spotlight once it arrives this next week. We have a fairly interesting special event arriving along the new season, and that's the Evo special event, but this time for the Mercedes C11. That's right, Gameloft will add Evo upgrades for a car that 99% of the player base has at just one single star, because this car arrived as a multiplayer reward that only allows you to unlock it. And you know what, now that I start to think about it, Gameloft would reach a new low if they decided to not to release any token packs of this car for people to start this car up, and instead they chose to just show real money bundles instead. That would be absolutely nasty, and not gonna lie, I am certain that Gameloft will do that at some point in the future. Maybe not this time, but for sure at some point in the future. Right before jumping into car hunts and other details, there will be 2 more special event reruns you should pay attention to. The Grand Prix of the Mercedes Black Series and the Touge TS900 special event, which, well, is coming with some questionable requirements. I mean, I know back when the Touge was released for the very first time, it was a special event where there were no token packs, only real money bundles in order to start up this car, but damn, these requirements are quite crazy for a mid-rank S-Class car. It might be just me, I guess, but it's quite insane. Alright, but you know what, now it's time to show you all these season car hunts and other events that might be interesting to you as well, which you can check on screen right now. The Lotus Evija Epic hunts might be helpful considering how slightly above the average the Evija is, but other than that, those aren't the most interesting car hunts I have seen so far. Honestly, these cars might be great to add some garage points, but other than that, it's not like these cars will be required at any special event during the season, so there is no real rush to go for them. And now guys, it's my favorite part of the video, the miscellaneous. A huge change that is taking place during this update is the fact that absolutely colossal amount of cars are being added to the Gauntlet store and also to the multiplayer rewards pool. In total, 50 new cars are being added to the Gauntlet store and 11 more cars can be obtained from multiplayer packs and rewards, which I personally believe it's great despite of having paid for many of these cars back when they were released. But that's fine, I guess. I would really like to know your thoughts in regards to all these new cars being made available in the comments section, so please let me know. There are some really minor bug fixes this time, but in case you are currently affected by them, you can check them on screen right now. All of them will be addressed with the new update, and I think that's really it. All the details in regards to the new update, patch notes and that stuff. I personally don't think it's a bad update in general, since you can skip most of the car. I mean, many of these cars are fairly iconic, but in terms of performance, these represent not a big deal anyways. And you know, the track looks quite nice, hence why I have decided to make a video about this update this time. But now it's your turn though. What do you think about this update patch notes? Let me know in the comment section, drop your massive like, and I will see you really soon as usual with much more Asphalt content. Goodbye guys.